Again, another weekly reminder for you guys to stay motivated and disciplined for our every endeavor in life from myself and Alex on the Trade-Off podcast.
Welcome back, team.
Today's topic of conversation is something that I've been seeing a lot of lately, actually. Is people overcomplicating stuff massively.
Always.
And I see this a lot in the trading space, and I've got an example to show you today, Alex. Two examples, actually. I've got a video on my phone, which I'm going to show you, and you guys better hear it. And then I'm going to show you what this person sounds like.
It's
YouTube friendly. So, a lot of people nowadays overcomplicate stuff. Usually someone that's trying to sell you something. They overcomplicate it to make it sound better than what it is.
Make yourself sound smart.
But also, the other type of person that overcomplicates stuff is somebody that wants to start something new, and they may overwhelm themselves so they don't start it at all. And then they miss out on a potentially...
Massively overthink things.
And they may miss out on a big opportunity, right? So, this guy, found him on TikTok. I see a lot of this shit on TikTok. I've been scrolling on TikTok this week for the benefit of this podcast. Let's watch this, right? And we're going to listen to some of the words that this guy uses. Now, me and you, we both have about 20 years trading experience between us, so we can decipher the bullshit. Here we go.
Together. Market is respecting swing highs and displacing through lows. This indicates...
First of all, the analysis is
displacing. Yeah, the highs are in the wrong place. So straight away, this guy has no fucking idea what he's doing anyway.
And he's used the word called displacing. He's saying displacing. So if I was going to teach somebody that we've made a new lower low, I would just say we made a new lower low. Yeah. Instead of saying displacing, then you as my student would say, what does displacing mean? And then I'm going to have to say eventually, we've made a new lower low. Pointless exercise, don't use fancy words for that.
We are in a downtrend. Price retraces into the bearish breaker block with an...
Breaker block. We've come back to retest the last low. That was just broken. So again, if I said, explain to me the breaker block, it eventually would come all the way back to reverse engineer it. We've come back to retest the last low that was broken.
Overlapping fair value gap.
An overlapping fair value gap over the breaker block from the displacement.
Give me a headache already.
I'm going to stop it there. Basically, we don't need to overcomplicate stuff. Now,
bullshit baffles brains.
If I use terminology like that in real life, so the guy that made this TikTok, if I met him in real life, this is how he would talk. Wait.
I don't understand.
Some of the words a little too sophisticated for you.
It doesn't make any sense.
This is this guy's personality trait right now.
It does.
Keep listening.
Smart. I used a thesaurus.
On every word?
Yep.
What was this sentence originally?
Oh, they are warm, nice people with big hearts.
Simple.
Normal talking. Now, if I met the guy that made that TikTok and realised this is what he'd sound like.
And that became, they are humid, prepossessing Homo sapiens with full-sized aortic pumps.
Yeah, and hey, I really mean it, dude.
Why?
Just overcomplicate it to the max.
You don't need to overcomplicate things. And a lot of people do that on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. One, they're most really trying to say something like this guy's trying to sell his course, right? So he's trying to make it sound smarter than what it is, trying to give himself more authority. It's utter bullshit. Keep things simple all the time. And I've got a story that I'm going to tell you about myself, personal experience of wanting to start something and not overcomplicating it, right? So a lot of the times throughout your life, you guys would have come up with or been presented maybe an opportunity and you thought, well, I don't know nothing about this. Of course you don't. Nobody knows anything, right, about something new that you want to start. Of course you don't. That's why it's new.
Was it Richard Branson that said, if someone gives you an opportunity
It was Richard Branson.
that you don't know how to do, he said, just take the opportunity and learn along the way.
Learn along the way.
Yeah, it's the best way. Because pretty much everything you do is learn across the way. Learn along the way.
Everything.
Everything
You do, just got to have the balls to say, do you know what? I'm willing enough and disciplined enough and motivated enough to take your opportunity and just give it a fucking good
100%.
go. I'm not going to overcomplicate it. I'm just going to go for it. Because a lot of people overthink stuff and then that's when it becomes overcomplicated.
Massively.
So, I'll tell you a little story. I know nothing, or previous to this story, I knew nothing about football.
And this is true.
Whatsoever.
I've known Ryan since we were kids, and he still thinks David Seaman is England's #1 goalkeeper. And
no, Paul Scholes was the goalkeeper, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, Paul Scholes, that's what I mean. He literally knows absolutely nothing. To the point that we used to take the piss out of him, that he knew nothing about football.
Literally, I know boxing, but all my mates done football. My football knowledge is minimal. I am literally that guy in your group who has the minimal football knowledge.
We're going to have to start explaining the offside rule in a minute with these chess pieces to him.
So, my son started, he would have been under 7s at the time, then under 8s. The coach said, Ryan, you're here every single week without fail. Of course, I'm a consistent guy. He said, so can you take over temporarily until another coach comes along? Oh, I can't do that anymore. I said, right, I know nothing about football, but do you know what? I will do it. It can't be that difficult. I will do it and I will just give it my best, right? So another coach was going to do it with me at the same time. So it was 2 dads, me and another dad. We took it on, great. The other dad had a football background, which is great. So I thought, right, how hard could this be? I know nothing about training kids at football, right? I know nothing about father-side football, which is what it is, but surely it can't be that difficult. So watched a few YouTube videos, got a bit of basic knowledge up together, not that hard. Then for the first 6 months of this year, right, what I'd done was watched. So what we'd done is we'd play a game every week and we'd train every week. Sometimes we'd do an extra bonus training session every week. All I had to do, and this doesn't matter if it's football or anything else, right? This topic that I'm talking about currently with the story is football, but this could be any niche. All I've done for 6 months was just collect the data in my mind. So every single game I turned up, every single training session I turned up, and all I've done was just watched and learned. So I can now see I'm not winning more games than what we're losing, right? So we're losing more. I was like, why? The opposite team for father's side do the exact same thing 80% of the time, every game. Right, no matter what team it is, every game.
It's not hard to outthink 7-year-olds, really, is it?
It's not hard to outthink 7-year-olds, right? So I was like, okay, so all we got to do is come up with a different scenario, how we can combat their scenario. We already knew our enemy. We know what they're going to do. It's very predictable. So for 3 training sessions in a row, I said, this is exactly what we're going to do as a team. Got them all thinking on the same page. Perfect. Right, we've combated that one thing. The next thing, 2 things are happening where we're getting goals scored against us. Right. How can we eradicate that? How can we get rid of these 2 things? Right, when this happens, boys, you've got to do that. There were another 3 sessions of just learning this exact thing to stop us getting goals scored against us from the 2 main reasons where we keep taking goals. All that was just from sitting back, just watching for 6 months, not turning up, I don't know nothing about football, just being on my phone like this. It's like, you want a bit of help that? Oh, here's a ball. But I literally know nothing about training kids at football. So all I done was just focus for 6 months, took it a bit serious, went on my phone. I was present at the time I was there, watching and observing. Now I've made those changes from the patterns that I noticed. We haven't lost the game in 2 months, right? And we've been winning by a huge amount of goals. And that was just from just making a change. I'm no Pep guy, whatever his name is. Prep? Is it Prep?
Pep Guardiola.
Pep Guardian, I'm not right. Literally, just focused, was present in the time. You could do that with any niche, anything you want to start. It doesn't matter what it is. If you just turn up, right, and learn. You have to start the learning somewhere. You have to take the first step somewhere. If you start an Instagram page, everyone starts with 0 followers. If you start a YouTube channel, everyone starts with 0 subscribers. Yeah. It's just the way it is. But you've got to be brave enough to say, do you know what, I'm willing to learn. And then you just fucking go for it and observe and then keep that knowledge in your brain. A lot of people turn up with stuff and they're not present, are they? Why? Because they've got their head in this.
Yeah. They give themselves an excuse to, it looks difficult. So what I do is I won't give it 100% effort. And that way, when I fail, I can say to myself, oh, well, I didn't really try my hardest anyway, so what can you expect? It's just an easy get out.
If you're going to do something, I don't care what the fuck it is, you've got to do your best.
Do your best and try and be the best. Otherwise, there's no point. It doesn't mean that you have to be the best. It's not about being the best.
Like you could be the best version of you at that skill. Yeah. Chess, you could be the best version of you at playing chess. You have to give yourself the best chance possible ever, but you're going to give yourself the best chance possible if you actually get the fucking balls and 100%. Start. A lot of people are too scared to start.
You don't want to talk yourself out of doing something because it looks difficult. Everything that people do is difficult. That's where people get scared off by things like that TikTok video. Because they see things, they hear things. It's massively overcomplicated, and they just go, "Whoa!"
I know nothing.
Overload of information. I don't know anything about anything he was talking about.
Of course you don't. You've never tried it before.
There's no way I can get it. I'm going to stop. You should be looking in places, and it comes back to the football as well. If you can't explain your theory and what you do to a 5-year-old, you don't know nothing about what you're doing.
No.
You should be able to break it down and explain what you're talking about to a kid.
I agree. Totally.
And it's the same thing when I coached my kids' football team. You always get
proper dads now, mate.
Your dads. Do little league, kickboxing, do all sorts.
Done a bit of karate.
So the main thing is, right, you always see the dad on the side, shout, rah, rah, drop back, find the space, Mark, get your man. These kids don't have a fucking clue what they're talking about. No. They think these adults are talking to these kids like they're adults, right? You need to explain things to people in a way that they'll understand. And that's not saying that people that are starting out their journey, stupid, they're kids.
No, but give them a fighting chance. Don't start using crazy terminology. If someone's never done trading before and I start saying what that guy's doing, right, mate, come over here, we'll look at this displacement, they're going to go, what the fuck is that?
So we used to have things like, the other coach would be shouting stuff like, find the space, make space. And the kids would just be looking around. What's this guy on about?
Yeah.
I could see they were confused. So I said, look, go and stand where no one else is.
Simple.
Simple as that. Close him down. They don't know what that means.
Just say what you mean.
Just run after the guy with the ball. That's what you need to say. They're kids. I used to tell my son, he played up front, and I say to him, just chase the man like a dog. The dog, and he's got the ball. Just chase him, harass him. That's all you've got to do.
The ball is yours.
Yeah, that's your ball. Go get it back. Do not stop till you get the ball back. And that's how simple it needs to be. We're not trying to teach people when they start trading how to. People start trading and they want to take the trades. That's the last thing they should be doing. Yeah. When they start, they should be looking at the steps to the process. After each step, take step 1, master it, then move on to step 2. And before you know it, you've got all these different puzzle pieces that you put together, and it makes a complete plan. But if you don't have the master of the individual pieces, you can't put it together in a plan. It's going to be disjointed. It's not going to work.
You need every step of the process. Yeah. That's why things are difficult. The difficulty is evolution of your brain, upskilling and gaining extra knowledge. Yeah. So when things get difficult and people give up, that's why they don't ever really get anywhere. When things get difficult, the people that work out and solve that problem, they're just problem solvers. That's all we are, problem solvers. You solve the problem of why this was difficult, you then move on to the next level. You've now just upskilled. You've got extra knowledge.
There's actually proof that when you do difficult things, the networks in your brain grow.
Hey, I love solving problems.
So when you actually do difficult things, your brain gets stronger. And therefore, if you just quit,
it's like a muscle.
We've said it before, if you quit once, it becomes a habit. Don't ever quit. Even if you find it tough.
No one likes a quitter.
Revert back to the step before and carry on again. But do not get overwhelmed by bullshit and all these different concepts. Find something and a way that you can simplify it, right? You need to either do it yourself or find a mentor and keep things simple.
And understand, very important thing. Keep it simple. Stay consistent with whatever it is you're doing. But remember one very important thing. It is not going to be easy. It is supposed to be difficult.
Yeah, it's
easy.
Everyone
supposed to
do
be
it.
hard. This is why, exactly that. Everybody around you is not millionaires. Everybody around you is not driving Lamborghinis. Why? Because it gets difficult, and that's where most people quit. When most people quit, that's where you have to keep going. It's supposed to be difficult. It's supposed to test you. It's the universe trying to see if you're worthy of the goal that you seek. Yeah. It's this test, constant. It never ends, ever. No matter what level you get to, you're going to continually be tested all the time.
100%.
But you can keep going.
And the people around you also are going to think that because they can't do something, that you can't do it. I had it when I left my job.
Oh, yeah, all that shit.
People saying, oh, you won't be able to do that, or that's stupid, you'll be back here. And I used to think to myself, maybe they're right.
Thanks for rooting for me, mate.
Thanks for rooting for me.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
And after a little while, something dawned on me. People put their limits on you all the time. If you surround yourself with people, if I ever doubt myself or something, Ryan's like, shut up, mate, you can do that. Easy, come on, let's figure out a way to do it. And I'm the same with him.
I've got a clip for this.
But it's, don't put your limiting beliefs on me. Just because you can't do it doesn't mean I can't do it.
Play this on the YouTube on the edit. My mate Ross sent it to me the other day. Ready? So this is LeBron doing exactly what you just said. This guy didn't really believe in himself, but he had someone next to him that would believe in him. Check this out. Look. Damn. Go for it. Go for it. Don't pass me the ball. Bang.
That's it. Boom. Swish.
That's the sort of people you need around you.
Yeah, and what did he do? He
simplified it.
Gave him the ball, said shoot.
Take it back.
They're not going to try and do some crazy play where you're going to feed me the ball. You've got the ball. The easiest thing to do to get 3 points right now is to shoot.
To keep it simple, you're close enough.
Keep it simple.
You can do it. That's the sort of people you want around you. You want fucking savages around you, people that are go-getters. If you've got people moaning around you all day and moaning shit about their life and all that crap, you've got to stay away from that shit because that brings you down, mate. That brings you down. So look, if you want to start something new, whatever it is, this is what this podcast is about. You're starting from scratch. It's gonna be rubbish. It's gonna be hard.
You're gonna suck.
Of course, and it's very obvious, you're not gonna know anything about this topic or whatever it is you're going to start because you've never done it before. That's why you're starting now. You're starting from scratch. You're starting from fresh. However, this is good news because you're starting from a place where you're a clean canvas. You have no bad habits. Yes. You have no wrong information. Start, take notes, stay consistent with it. It's going to take longer than you expect. Humans usually think things are going to take, or they're going to see results very quickly, maybe 2 to 3 months. Get that out of your head right now. Try and get results as quickly as possible, of course, but it usually takes longer than what we expect. It just does. It's an effort thing. It takes more effort and longer than what you anticipate in your mind. Always does. So just be prepared. Just be prepared to wake up and just battle for it every day.
Also, when we talk about being a fresh canvas, right?
You'll be a warrior.
People think that, I worry about starting new. I don't know anything about it. Is this person going to think I'm stupid? Look, I've had to explain things to people, all different people in different ways. Everyone understands something in a different way. You find an analogy to make them understand it. You find a way to show them how it works, whether it be a PDF drawing or a voiceover or a picture of a chart. You find a way.
One-to-one.
Or a one-to-one. You find a way to make it work, right? But one of the most difficult things for me is teaching someone who already has been in an environment where they've been overcomplicated and oversold stuff. They come to me and they go, "Look, this is what I know so far. Blah, blah, blah. All the stuff that I'm like, no, stop. Just delete it all. We're starting again from scratch. I want you to have to
Reset.
So you have to reset them back to where they started. So it's almost like the first few weeks is stripping them back to a blank canvas.
Get rid of
right?
the bad habits.
You got to get rid of the bad habits and start fresh, because most of the time they've been with some guru or they've been watching some YouTube videos. And don't get me wrong, there are some good people. We're not here to bash people, say, oh, everyone's crap. No, they're not. But there are some people out there that have got like notoriety, and people go to them because they see a certain thing on social media and they don't know the red flags.
Yeah, there's some very good marketers out there.
Yeah, there's very good marketers who are not very good traders. And they obviously learn this stuff. They realise it doesn't work, so they find someone else. But one of the hardest things to do as a human is to accept that you've wasted your time, which is why people stay in bad marriages, why people do things like that. Oh, well, I've invested 10 years into this marriage. Can't just walk away. If you're unhappy and it doesn't work and you're miserable, walk away.
This is true, but I think no time is ever wasted because you've gained
learned a lesson.
experience. You're now one step ahead. Like, you might have tried something for a year, it didn't work out. However, you've gained some sort of life experience from that. Definitely.
100%.
And I also believe, I'm not a religious guy, but I do believe we're exactly where we're supposed to be. I really do. So I believe we're exactly where we're supposed to be, and we can't see why until other things happen. You might look back and think, I can see why that happened now. When something happens, you're like, fuck's sake, this is shit. But
setting you up for something else.
It's setting you up for something
100%.
else. It's setting you up for something else. So never have that victim mindset, why me? Trust me, it's happening for you, not to you.
Yeah. And it happened to both of us. So I got let go of my job. Spoke about, like I said in the last podcast, I got let go of my job.
Your boy over here got stabbed.
Ryan got stabbed. And it was almost within two months of each other. Happened at the same time. And then we both could have gone, oh, right, we need to find another job or I need to do something else, or sit around and cry about it and I'm not going to do my rehab because I just feel miserable. No, we just got up, we fucking got on with it, and we did what needed to be done. And that included finding a lot of shit that did not work, that was overcomplicated. You should have seen our charts.
That was the hardest thing about being a self-taught trader.
Learn 100% of stuff, then you need to forget 70% of it. Then you need to add more to it, remove some of that. And in the end, you're left with a collection of things that work together. But to start with, it was so overcomplicated. We took so much information from so many different things.
Strip it back.
And we just decided, you know what? This is overcomplicated. Let's strip it back. Let's do what needs to be done.
It shouldn't be this complicated.
Don't overcomplicate it. Bullshit baffles brains. That's what you're going to hear. If someone doesn't know what they're talking about, they use big fancy words. They try and make it sound complicated so that they sound intelligent.
Red
right?
flag, straight
But
away.
if you're intelligent, you can explain your concepts to a child. And that's the most important thing to remember, right? So don't be put off by having to start something. Everyone that's ever done anything, Usain Bolt, first time he ran, I bet he wasn't the fastest, right? No. And he had to learn to walk. If he'd have taken 2 or 3 steps when he was a kid and gone, fuck this is hard work, that would have been it. He'd be sat in a wheelchair for the rest of his life.
That's the same for everybody as well, isn't it? Yeah. I imagine how many times a kid, including us when we were kids, including you listening to this, watching this when you were kids, and you got up, tried to walk and fell over. But you got back up again, didn't you? Fell over. Do you know why you kept doing that? Because you could see your parents walking around. You knew it was possible.
You knew it was possible.
So you could take that as inspiration. You see other people doing something. I know it's possible. Someone else has already done it. You just got to believe that it's possible for you.
And then you need someone there to obviously tell you that you can do it, right?
Your parents are your mentor, aren't they?
My son does it. He's just gone into a new year now. He's just gone into year 2, and they brought home more difficult reading books. You know, we take that for granted, right? He opened this book yesterday, and he was struggling with it. He does a lot of reading. We read all over the summer, but this was the next step up. There was bigger words in it, more sentences. And he was like, right. And he just sat there and he was like, oh. And he started to give up. And I'm like, oh, it's all right, son. You just give up. You won't be able to read then. Don't worry about it. He went, what? I said, well, if you give up now.
The reverse psychology.
I said, if you just give up now, just don't worry about it. You don't need to read.
Works every time on 1 under 10.
Yeah, anyone else, reverse psychology the fuck out of them.
Reverse psychology.
And then he went, no, you can do this. I'm like, I know you can, but let's do it then. So he did it. And he got on with it. Took him a little bit longer than he thought it was, but he did it. And then you should have seen the smile on his face when he put his book back this morning, went to school. He was buzzing because he knows he's going to go there. He's progressed. He's going to get a new book. He's going to bring that home. It's a new challenge. Don't be scared of challenges. You need challenges to grow. And if you don't grow, you stay exactly where you are. So put yourself in difficult situations.
Difficult for a reason, guys. Every single person that has ever done anything extraordinary of their lives, made some sort of success out of themselves, went through struggle, went through pain.
Of course.
You just didn't see it.
Yeah.
Still thinking, why is this happening to me? It happens to everybody.
Exactly.
So get a fucking grip.
And it does hurt. When you're beat down, when things are, struggling with things,
Yeah.
mentally,
I
it can
kinda
be
like it.
Yeah, it can be tough. But you either embrace that and know that if you quit now, then that regret will be with you forever. If
Wake
you
up
keep going
every
through
day,
that pain,
I welcome the fun.
yeah, keep going through
Come
that
on.
pain, something good will come out of it, all right?
So what I want you to do ready for next week is put in the comments under this YouTube video, if you're watching us on YouTube, put in the comments exactly what you're going to do, something that you're going to take action with that you've been meaning to start. It could be anything at all. I've been trying to do something at home, a bit of DIY. Don't care. It could be something that little.
Anything.
It could be something big. I want to start a side hustle, but I haven't really been bothered to start it. I've been too scared to start. I've been procrastinating. Don't care. Put in the comments what it is you're actually going to start taking action with. You're going to take the first step to actually do it.
Nice.
What's the worst that's going to happen? So make sure you like, subscribe, make sure you put something in the comments what
Interaction.
it is that you're actually going to do. And then next week we'll jump on and we'll read some of your comments and we'll give you a hand and we'll give you a few pointers.
Sweet.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week.